On the evening of the 1st of September 1941, a 17-year-old apprentice motor mechanic in Newcastle upon Tyne finished a double shift to begin his journey home. From the Minories garage in Jesmond, a suburb in the north of the city, he went by bus to the city centre and then east towards Walker, where he lived. During this journey, around 28 Junkers Ju-88 bombers of 3 Kampfgeschwader KG-30 were approaching the city from the east, crossing the coast north of Newcastle to begin their bombing runs. As the bus travelled east along New Bridge Street, it passed over the Manners railway interchange, which included a large goods station. Just after 2200, bombs started falling around the riverside areas of St Lawrence and St Peters, amongst industrial sites and the London and North Eastern Railway line to Tynemouth. This was a common occurrence. The Luftwaffe had sporadically bombed the city since the previous winter, normally along the Tyne to disrupt the enormous amounts of shipbuilding taking place on both sides of the river. At 22:20, 2 bombs, one 1,000 kilograms and the other 500 kilograms, penetrated the roof of the Manners goods station and completely wrecked the reinforced concrete structure of the building down to the ground floor level. The building was being used as a food distribution depot, and 1,500 tons of flour, 160 tons of sugar, and 20 tons of bacon caught fire and were destroyed in the aftermath of the attack. The shock wave from the exploding bombs was felt across the surrounding area, including the trolley bus the young man was sitting in on Shields Road, 2 kilometres from the goods station. That young man was Derek Moore, my father, and on our weekly Sunday visit to my grandparents we would pass the surviving concrete basement of the Manners goods station, which was still in use as a British Rail storage depot. He rarely talked about his war service after being called up in 1942, but occasionally admitted he had probably been in more danger during the Newcastle air raids than while in Italy. Over many car journeys to Walker, I learnt that the bombed station continued to burn for days after the attack, and he still remembered the smell of burnt meat and sugar lingering in the air. As I grew older and developed an adult interest in air power, particularly the bombing war, I became aware that the Manners raid was the heaviest Luftwaffe attack on Newcastle during the war, even though it took place after the Blitz had ended. Although widely known and generally remembered in Europe, the Blitz bombing campaign against the United Kingdom in 1940 to 1941 is not as well understood on the other side of the Atlantic. During the summer of 1940, the Luftwaffe, German Air Force, failed to win air superiority over the country in a campaign that has been documented as the Battle of Britain. Few historians have realized that this was also an offensive counter-air campaign to make a German invasion attempt possible if they achieved air superiority.